Se acabó.
Ron DeSantis gets pointed and personal, criticizing Donald Trump on a wide array of issues while trying to sell himself at the same time to Trump voters as better than the original.
Hey, time for the double shot, and DeSantis going after Trump like never before, says some stupid written fucking CNN article. Let's jump into it. DeSantis is going after Trump like never before. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, now officially a candidate for president, is no longer tiptoeing around former President Donald Trump, nor is he being shy about his plans to flex the powers of the presidency like never before if he wins the White House. Oh boy, jeez, this is hysterical, CNN. I fucking love how you're like half in the door simping for this fucking guy. Well, here's what I'm going to continuously say that my Rick take in this video is all about. Don, not Ron. Fuck Ron DeSantis. Rhonda Sand Tits. There it is. Don, not Ron. Let's keep going. DeSantis, whose campaign raised $8.2 million in the first 24 hours, according to a campaign spokesperson, has filled the hours after his botched Twitter launch by taking his message to the familiar comforts of the conservative airwaves, where in a dozen interviews he has assailed Trump as fiscally irresponsible and a supporter of amnesty for undocumented immigrants. Oh, are you fucking kidding? He said Trump's COVID-19 mitigation policies destroyed millions of people's lives and told Fox News his day one priority would be to fire the former president's handpicked FBI director, Christopher Wray. Well, nobody likes Christopher Wray anyways. Fuck that guy. He sucks. Moving on. Trump is a different guy today than when he was running in 2015 and 2016. DeSantis told Tennessee conservative talk radio host Matt Murphy, adding, "I don't know what happened to Donald Trump." The sharpening of attacks against Trump, whose endorsement DeSantis once sought and campaigned on in his 2018 race for governor, comes after months of subtle digs at the former president's stint in the White House. Okay. Throughout Trump's 4 years in office, of which DeSantis served almost 2 years in Congress and 2 years as a closely aligned governor, and in the years since, the Florida Republican has never before levied such direct and public criticism of the man he now hopes to supplant as the leader of the GOP. Now, DeSantis is making the case that he is better suited to deliver on the promises that Trump himself failed to see through. Doing so will require pushing the limits of the executive branch like never before. DeSantis has suggested in multiple interviews in the past 24 hours, he told conservative radio host Mark Levin, he told the great one who sucks a fat fucking dong, he sucks it for Zelensky, fuck that guy, that he studied the U.S. Constitution's leverage points and would use his knowledge to exercise the true scope of presidential power. You've got to know how to use your leverage to advance what you're trying to accomplish, DeSantis told Twitter CEO Elon Musk during their conversation. Trump has pushed back against these missives by poking fun at the glitches that marred the Florida Republicans' entrance into the race and suggesting DeSantis isn't ready for the Oval Office. He isn't. Hint, hint, he isn't. Moving on. Rob DeSanctimonious, nope, sorry. Rhonda Sandtits and his poll numbers are dropping like a rock. I would almost be inclined to say these are record falls. Trump posted on Truth Social on Thursday. The question is Rob just young and inexperienced and naive or more troubling? Is he a fool who has no idea what the hell he's doing? I don't know. I think so. We already have one of those in office. We don't need another one. We need MAGA. MAGA. Make America great again. And I'll say it. Here's the Rick take. Don, not Ron. DeSantis' vision for the executive branch is seemingly at odds with the Republican Party's traditional adherence to the principles of limited government. Many Republicans often accused former President Barack Obama of extending his powers unconstitutionally, and DeSantis himself wrote an entire book in 2011 based on that perception. But it is an approach Republican voters have come to expect from their elected leaders in the years since Trump emerged and dispensed with governing norms. It is also in keeping with how DeSantis has led from Tallahassee. As governor, DeSantis has systematically strengthened the office of the governor and stretched its constitutional powers in ways that no previous executive has. He seized control of the state's Environmental Protection Agency, deployed the state's police force in novel ways, created a law enforcement team to monitor voting, and removed a democratically elected local prosecutor and orchestrated a takeover of the small liberal arts college. They're painting this guy almost worse than Don himself. Don, not Ron. I may have earned 51% of the vote, but that entitled me to wield 100% of the executive power, and I resolved to use it to advance conservative principles, DeSantis said at an event in Wisconsin on May 6th. In his latest book, The Courage to Be Free, DeSantis described his extraordinary use of state power as deliberate and tactical. He wrote that before taking office, he had studied an exhaustive list of the governor's constitutional authority and would use every lever available to advance our priorities. Fuck, I'm tripping on my words, but I haven't slept up to the point of recording this. And I was in a Spaces last night for 6 hours. That was a fun time. What I was able to bring to the governor's office was an understanding of how a constitutional form of government operates, the various pressure points that exist, and the best way to leverage authority to achieve substantive policy victories, he wrote. Now, DeSantis' opening message to Republican voters is that he would bring the methodical precision to the White House in ways that past executives, Trump included, failed to. Presidents have been willing to wield Article 2 power to discipline the bureaucracy. DeSantis said, I'll come in and on day one we'll be splitting nails. Among his top priorities, DeSantis said would be to reconstitutionalize the federal government, which he described as a plan to discipline the bureaucracy and agencies that he You have a typo here, CNN. You fuckers suck. Are detached from constitutional accountability. I'm not lying. Here, let me zoom it in. Look at that. Where'd it go? Right there. Oh, can't see it. Right there. Doing this kind of live. I'm going to leave it in. I don't care. He would dispel with the long-standing tradition that government institutions like the U.S. Department of Justice operate independently from the president, embracing a philosophy that Trump often governed by but never articulated so Motherfucker. I also have partaken in a little bit of Mary Jane this morning, but I fucking needed it. And I'm in a legal state. I'm allowed to fucking do what I want. So that word, I'm just not in the fucking mood to say it. And yes, I am a Joey Bag of Donuts motherfucker, and that's okay. Republican presidents have accepted the canard, whatever, that the DOJ and FBI are, quote, independent. DeSantis said they are not independent agencies. They are part of the executive branch. They answer to the elected president of the United States. DeSantis also touched on pardons when he asked about whether he could consider the cases of those who face charges related to January 6, 2021 insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, as well as whether he would pardon Trump should he be charged federally. He said he would look at all cases of disfavored treatment based on politics or weaponization. The DOJ and FBI have weaponized on day one. I will have folks that will get together and look at all these cases who People are victims of weaponization or political targeting, and we will be aggressive in issuing pardons, DeSantis told the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton show on Thursday. At the same time, DeSantis said pardons would be looked at individually, not necessarily to an entire group. We will apply relief as appropriate, DeSantis said, and it will be done on a case-by-case basis. Those remarks drew an immediate rebuke from the Democratic Party, alerting in a news release that DeSantis was spending his first day as an official presidential candidate, promising to consider pardons for some January 6th insurrectionists and convicted criminals who attacked law enforcement. That's such a tried fucking bullshit. God. Let it go. Release the people that are there unconstitutionally. And yes, I said it that way. I don't care. Doing this how I want to fucking do it today. In his private pitch to donors, DeSantis has noted that Trump, who has already served one term, would be a lame duck president if elected. Since launching his, he'd be a lame duck fucking, that would be Trump without the training wheels. He could do whatever the fuck he wants. Come on, you, jeez. You people are fucking retarded. Since launching his candidacy Wednesday, DeSantis has more publicly laid out why that should give Republicans pause. I understand, and all your listeners should understand, DeSantis said on Levin's show that if we do everything right, if we're disciplined, if we're strong as anyone could be, it still takes a 2-term project. Don, not Ron. Well, this was Don, not Ron. That's the takeaway. And I flubbed words. It fucking happens. I'm a Joey Bag of Donuts. I do this for the fun of it. Speaking of, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. It's how I know that you liked it. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell because every time that rings, you'll get some little notification that I posted something. If you didn't like it, thumbs down. Don't care. Hate share it. Hate watch it. Then go over in the corner, put on your nice little dunce cap, and read to yourself silently because nobody fucking gives a shit. And with that, it is Friday evening. Please have a wonderful weekend. I'm out. Kari Lake tells a joke.
You know, if you can't beat Donald Duck, how are you going to beat Donald Trump? I think that's the question we have to ask when it comes to Governor DeSantis. And I think he should stay in Florida and continue fighting for the people there and try to finish that fight.